not like dating in 2025? Let me tell you. They ask you to hang out. You go for dinner. And then comes for the bill. You guys go 50-50. Oh, but sometimes the guy will pay more because it's a gentleman thing to do. The gentleman thing to do is pay for the whole damn bill. And then after that, guys walk out of the restaurant, tries to hold your hand. Then he tries to make a move on you and then try to kiss you. Honey, back it up. You did not pay for the thing. You did not call it a date. We was just hanging out. I don't hang out like that.
Hey guys, welcome back. Or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lumi. And today we're going to be looking at some more dating TikToks. But before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, it would really mean a lot to me.
If they wanted to, they would. Except that's not necessarily true, is it? Because there are a lot of reasons why people don't. You know, fear of rejection, vulnerability, insecurity. These are all issues I feel like that could be worked through with simple communication. People are so afraid of being vulnerable these days because somebody from the past has burnt them. And instead of working through these issues that they developed from being burnt, they stumble through life projecting on these issues onto other people and creating these dysfunctional relationships with other people. And I genuinely believe that's why I have such a hard time accepting no response as a response at times, is because there's a reason and I want to get to the bottom of it and I want to work through it because I've been there. But people are just too afraid of simple communication, which ultimately leads to this fear of commitment, is what it all boils down to. It's a hard time to date in 2025.
I feel like she's out here trying to train us. And the reason I say that is because she keeps clicking her pen. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's this thing you can use when you're training dogs. I think it's called like a clicker. I used to use it to train my dog. And what you would do is you would click it as like a reward for your dog anytime they did something you wanted. And usually you would give like a treat as well. I couldn't help but make the connection there. It feels like she's trying to train us. If someone like her is having troubles with dating, like, that's how you know we're cooked. I don't know, she could be using like a ton of makeup and filters. I mean, it looks like she uses a lot of makeup, but she appears to be really pretty. So it's a little concerning when someone like her is having issues dating in 2025. Like, that's how you know the rest of us are cooked. But yeah, I agree with her. I feel like a lot of the issues that we have today with all this stuff stems from past traumas that we haven't been able to work through on our own or in therapy. And what ends up happening is, like she said, you end up projecting your pain and past trauma into the world, and it creates a lot of dysfunction. Like, you hate to see it, but that's sort of like where we're at right now. A lot of us have been burnt in the past, like she said, and many of us can't even afford therapy to work through these issues. It takes a lot of like self-discipline and self-reflection, I think, to work through a lot of these issues. But yeah, it just takes a lot of time. I think that like one thing that helps me is just being able to talk about these things, because I have had frustrating experiences with dating apps in the past. It's not healthy to just like internalize all that. So I feel like it's great to just be able to get up here and speak my mind about stuff. And I'm grateful that I have like a small community to sort of bounce my ideas off of, share our experiences. It's nice to have that support, but not a lot of people have that. So what ends up happening is like you have a lot of people who they have these negative experiences and they end up internalizing a lot of it and just taking out their anger and frustration onto the world and who knows what. Like, it could be in a road rage incident, it could be like at the grocery store, it could be at like your job, you know? It could be so many things.
Dating in 2025 literally makes no sense. I'm sure a lot of you are in the same boat that I'm
in right now, so let's dive.
As a man, you can be a good-looking guy, have a lot of money, have a good job, is very compassionate, very loving, and very loyal. And your lady will still leave you
For a man that's 6'5" named Requise that has face tattoos and that smokes.
Look at me right now and tell me that makes sense. And tell me that makes sense.
Because it doesn't!
You can be a good person in this world of dating, which there's not a lot. Keep in mind, there's not a lot. Most of everybody are pieces of garbage, and all they want is instant gratification.
They don't want a long-term relationship, because once they get bored, you're cooked.
So in this day and age, me specifically, how am I supposed to have a wife and kids and all this stuff? I mean, look at me. I'm a good-looking man. I got a lot to offer. I don't beg. I don't plead. I don't chase. I'm not crazy clingy.
I'm a normal guy.
But look at me!
Make this shit make sense! I know a lot of people are in the same boat as me, men and women.
One lesson I had to learn. You can't
Make someone want you. Let me
say it again. You can't make.
someone want you.
And most people that are in my shoes, we just get discarded. We're great,
Awesome, compassionate, loving human beings, but we just get discarded because people are just so confused.
So your confusion is
Going around and hurting people.
I love this guy. I love him. He's speaking facts. Also, I love this really stupid filter that he's using. The audio filter where like it slows down and then speeds up and then slows down again. I love it. I don't know why, but this everything what he's talking about is serious, and like it's frustrating, and it's like such a real human experience, especially, you know, in 2025, right? But the fact that it's being like sped up and slowed down is so funny to me, and it's like at the best parts too. When he's really trying to make a point, it like slows down and it just hits absolutely harder. But yeah, what he's saying is true. I agree with it 100%. It's not just men, it's both men and women. We're all experiencing these issues because let's be honest, we're all traumatized. I feel like we've all had some kind of like relationship issue where we felt like we got the short end of the stick. You know, either it didn't end well, felt like a waste of time, or like it got really bad and like it was just actually traumatizing. Like that's happened to a lot of people. It's happened to me. It's happened to my friends. When you go into relationships, like romantic relationships, you really are risking it. It's a risk. You better expect that. Unless you, and this is so old-fashioned and not realistic, but unless you are absolutely convinced you're going to spend the rest of your life with this person, you're going to get cooked. You're going to get hurt. Like, that's just the world we live in today. And it's almost a guarantee. So when people go into relationships, it's almost like they know it's going to suck. But the crazy thing is, people still go into it because they believe that it'll be worth it. Like for me personally, that's like the most profound thing about it, about like this human experience, you know? It's like we will do things that even though we know we're not gonna make it out okay, we'll do them anyway, you know? By the way, his TikTok is at Zayfo if you're interested.
I went on a date with a girl with autism, and I think she might have ruined me for dating, and I'm not sure what to do about that. Here's what happened. She's a child psychologist with a specialty in autism and also has autism. I'm a pretty inquisitive person, so I spent the first 45 minutes of our date just asking her questions about her life, her accolade, interests and hobbies, passions. And then she stopped me and said, "Can I have a turn to ask you some questions?" Normally at this point, people ask me, when did I graduate chiropractic school, or how long have I been playing guitar, like very LinkedIn profile questions. She looks me dead in the eye and says, "Tell me everything you remember about your 18th birthday." What? It has been weeks since this happened, and I am still thinking about this question. Not only was I stunned by the question, I was stunned by my own answer. This girl learned more about me in 2 hours than most people do in 2 months. She wasn't trying to figure out what I do. She was trying to figure out who I am. It was like I was in a double-blind experiment, and I loved it. A new bar has been set, guys, okay? If they're not asking you what you remember from your 18th birthday, we don't want it.
As someone who's on the spectrum, I love this. First of all, I love how this guy actually gave this woman a chance. I feel like most guys wouldn't have. So it's actually nice to see someone go on a date who's maybe not exactly like themselves. I'm also glad the stigma around autism is sort of it's getting a little bit better, I think. It used to be 10 years ago, it was an insult. Now it's a lot of people are being honest about it, and they're opening up to the idea that maybe they're on the spectrum as well. I can definitely relate to her. I hate any kind of boring, like you said, LinkedIn type questions, especially on a date when I'm trying to get to know someone. Like, I could honestly care less about what you do, like for a job. I'd much rather hear about like something interesting, like what he said in the video. Like, an interesting question that I would ask is like, what's your earliest memory or something like that. I feel like this puts off a lot of people. Most people don't want to think really hard about stuff like this. I feel like a lot of people would rather just be kind of like blissfully ignorant, you know? But I feel like for a lot of autistic people, that just drives us crazy. Like, we need to be stimulated mentally, so please give us stimulating conversation, please. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of it. If you did, give me a like down below. Dislike it if you dislike it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you date an autistic neko? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It would help me and the channel go a long way. But anyway, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Later.